The German Tiger is arguably the most well-known tank of the Second World War. The Tiger's impregnable armor, powerful gun, and enormous stature made it a legend in its time. The frontal armor was 100 mm thick, making it impervious to Allied anti-tank guns. However, a shot from the 88 mm main gun could penetrate 100 mm of armor, at ranges of up to 1,000 meters. When it first appeared in 1942, it struck terror into the hearts of Allied tank crews. At 2,000 meters, every contemporary Allied tank was vulnerable to the Tiger. Yet, most Allied tanks needed to get within a few hundred meters of the Tiger to have any chance of damaging it. However, the tank did have its problems. For a vehicle of the Tiger's size and weight, the engine was woefully underpowered. It was especially subject to fires and malfunctions, and the gearbox was equally vulnerable to the operational stresses. Because the engine and gearbox were difficult to access, repairmen were forced to lift the turret clear of the tank to change parts, even for minor issues. It's probably fair to say that mechanical failure took out more Tigers than enemy action. Hitler, eager to employ the powerful new weapon, ordered the vehicle to be forced into service months ahead of schedule. On the 23rd of July 1942, Hitler ordered that the first Tiger tanks be sent to the Leningrad Front. By the end of August, just 9 Tigers had been accepted by the Army, indicating that production had gone behind schedule. Heavy Tank Battalion 502 was the first unit to receive the new tank. On the 19th and 20th of August 1942, the 502nd received their first 4 Tigers, allowing the battalion's first company to be formed. The Tigers suffered mechanical teething problems as new vehicles, which resulted in frequent technical failures and breakdowns. Employees of Henschel, who manufactured the tank, and Maybach, who built the engine, were crucial to the battalion's success. The majority of Tiger crewmen were drawn from existing Panzer units at this early period. This meant they were well trained and experienced, but they were unfamiliar with the Heavy Tank Battalion's tactics. Due to the small number of Tigers that had been built, training with the actual vehicle was limited. Many of these early models had transmission issues, which made it difficult to handle the vehicle's heavy weight if pushed too hard. Drivers had to learn how to prevent overtaxing the engine and transmission over time, and many of them broke down. Despite these concerns, the company entrained for the Eastern Front on the 23rd, as Hitler had demanded that the Tiger be used in combat as soon as possible. It would have had 9 Tigers and 10 Panzer IIIs at full strength, but it appears that only 4 of each were dispatched. A platoon of 4 Tigers went into action on the 29th of August 1942 near Leningrad. Operating in swampy, forested terrain, their movement was largely confined to roads and tracks, making defense against them far easier. It was an unpromising start for the tank, that would go on to become the most infamous in history. Major Richard Marker, the commander of the 502nd, had advocated against deploying the Tigers. The terrain in this section, he claimed, was totally unsuitable for the 56-ton tank. The area was densely forested, with poor drainage, resulting in vast, squishy bogs. The torrential rains that are typical for this time of the year exacerbated the situation. He was also concerned that only 4 tanks would have a negligible impact in any engagement. He was overruled, and the tank's debut became a disaster. Thick mud accumulated between the interleaved road wheels on 2 of the tanks. The powertrain was overworked, resulting in transmission failure, The engine of a third vehicle had failed. The company's 18-ton half-tracks recovered the 3 Tigers that had broken down and became stuck. Each tank required 3 of these vehicles to transport it to safety. The necessary replacement parts had to be flown in from Germany. Despite these difficulties, the 4 Tigers were back in service by September 15th. The Tiger's second appearance, on September 22nd, was even less successful. All 4 vehicles broke down or became stuck, with one of them catching fire. Only 3 were rescued this time. Marker proposed destroying the 4th to prevent the Soviets from acquiring its secrets, but Army Command overruled him. On November 25th, after several months of approval, the tank was blown up. This marked the first total loss of a Tiger tank. Marker had been relieved of command of the 502nd by this time. Despite his warnings, he was held accountable for the failures of his unit. However, because the order to employ the Tigers had come straight from Hitler, there was no getting around it. As the war progressed, the reliability of the Tiger tank improved, with an average of 70% operational availability on the Western Front, and 65% on the Eastern Front, from early 1944. If you have enjoyed the video, please subscribe and support the channel for more. Many thanks for watching.